Bryn Whiting, thank you very much for coming all the way up from, where is it you live?
Bournemouth. Thank you very much for having me, Johnny.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth.
Wow, that's a car journey.
Yeah, I had to pick up Mr. Dixon on the way, so I left the house at 5:45 this morning.
So it was a bit like Peter Kay's car share, was
Basically,
it?
yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't a bad journey, but unfortunately I had to share the car with Adam, so yeah, it was all right.
Does one of you fart more than the other?
He stinks. I'm not going to lie. He's just a very disgusting boy.
Well, you are one of the original Tidy Board members, Bryn.
Yes.
Let's not forget that. How did you get into DJing?
So I used to go to Slinky back in the day, the legendary Slinky, and I met a young Tidy Board member, another board member there called Velos, and we used to go around his house, and literally he used to show me how to mix on his 1210s. And then I used to go to Slinky, and I used to always see Lisa Lashes there and the Tidy Boys, and I'd always get backstage, and I used to stand back and watch how they did their craft, and I thought, you know what, I could do that, and I could do it in my way, and I think I could do something a little bit different, and that could be there could be a market for that sort of thing. So yeah.
So Velos taught you how to mix?
Velos taught me how to mix. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, another original Tidy Board member.
Yeah, I mean, there are still a few out there that do come to the Tidy event, so they are still out there. I mean, a lot of them obviously have got families now, and, you know, still go out, some still go out, but describe what you play then. What kind of music would you say you play?
So I would describe my sets as like euphoric, uplifting, driving trance. So I like to get all my tracks and I like to edit them, and I like taking the breakdowns out or having a minimum amount of breakdown in my sets. So literally it is right from the start to the finish, you are dancing constantly. There are a couple of breakdowns in there, but I like to make people dance.
Yes, I love breakdowns.
Yeah, I don't mind a breakdown, but it's just like cutting them down to a certain point where you can just literally, like, hands are in the air for like a minute and then you're back into a dancing rhythm.
What is it about trance? And it is trance, not trance. It's trance.
It's trance, yeah.
What is it about trance that you love so much? I'm only being pedantic.
No. I just love the euphoricness, the love for the music when people come together and everyone's there to just embrace in throwing their hands in the air. The love that you get off it, and the energy and the feel of euphoria that I get from like main melodies. I put my hands in the air every time. As a clubber and as a DJ, there's just no better music for me, unfortunately.
Now, the music you produce fits very nicely amongst all the other anthems on the Tidy 2 label. Yeah. How does it feel to be signed to that label? Because it's the music you love to make, and now you are amongst that prestigious roster that's on there.
It's been an absolute whirlwind since the halfway through lockdown last year. I got the new studio from tapping up some people who owed me money for tracks that I had a few years ago, and I bought the studio and literally just dived straight in. I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go, because obviously lockdown was coming in and I'm a very creative person. I would like being active and I like doing things and learning. So with the thought of lockdown looming, I was scared for myself and my mental health. So I thought, you know what, let's give it another go. And since then, it's been crazy. And to be signed to Tidy, I've been a fan for about nearly 20 years. You know, it's an absolute honour and a privilege to be signed to the label.
So how do you manage to produce such powerful and uplifting music?
So sometimes, I'm not going to lie, sometimes it's sheer luck. So sometimes I'll write a chord progression, so I always start with a chord progression, and then I'll have my keyboard in front of me, play a few notes, record it, then I'll change them a few times, and then I'll go, okay, right, so that sits nicely there. Then I'll record another couple of notes, play around with them, and then literally once I've got the melody and the chord structure, then I do my kick, my bass. So I always start with a chord progression. So
Okay, where do you draw your inspiration from?
I draw, so like obviously you've got your old talent like your Tiesto, Armin van Buuren, but at the moment I'm drawing all my inspiration from new talent. So like Yoshi and Razna, Kenny Palmer, Ryan Kay, Adam Dixon, like all Meta and Clyde, all these guys are setting the bar so high with great music, and I'm trying to not replicate but try and do it in my own way. That's what I'm trying to achieve.
Okay, what are you using to produce then? What are you making music
So I
with?
use Fruity Loops.
Just Fruity Loops?
Yep, just Fruity Loops.
And a MIDI keyboard or not?
Yeah,
even that?
I've got an Akai, same one as that.
Yeah.
And then I've got my Adams T7s, and then I use VSTs of my preferred choice are Spire, Silent, Nexus, and Serum. So yeah, I don't have any hardware. I literally just have my computer, which I spent a lot of money on recently to upgrade it. Yeah. So yeah.
So talking about trance producers, you've got a very strong friendship with another trance presario, Nicholson. How did that friendship come about then? So
I've known Carl for many, many years. We've both had a lot bad happen to us, so I think we kind of have something similar to talk about. If anyone knows Carl's story, he's been through hell and back, and to be in the position that he is in now is quite remarkable. You know, he's come out of hell, and he's doing so much good stuff, not for only for himself, but for his family. And he's just such a nice, humble guy. And I asked him for advice. And yeah, over Christmas, he bought me a VST that I really, really wanted and I couldn't afford. So he sent me, he said, here you go, Merry Christmas. And he bought it for me. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What a guy.
He is a guy. He's a great guy.
Now, you said yourself you both went through a very tough time, and I know you went through an extremely tough stage in your life following the death from your dad.
Yeah.
To the point where you basically turned your back on music, you gave it all up, you walked away.
Yeah.
What changed? What changed all that? After that?
Yeah. So when my dad died of a heart attack back in 2010. And I carried on making music for a little bit. I made a couple of tracks dedicated to him, and it took me nearly 2 years to come to grips with that I'd actually lost my dad, and I went through a very late stage of grieving, and I didn't want to do anything anymore. I quit my job as a Slinky promoter. I said I was working closely with Lee, and I said, look, I can't do it anymore. I need my time and stuff like that. So I walked away from everything. I concentrated all my time and effort on fitness because my dad died and I didn't want to go down the same route as what he did.
Yeah.
And then obviously I've always kept in touch with the scene, with Sam and Ammo and people like that. So I've started working for Tidy again, doing like event management and stuff. And then over the last, say, a couple of years, I've been like, do you know what, I kind of miss it, and I miss that feel. And and I know what my dad would say. He wouldn't want me to be like dwelling on, him. He'd always want me to do what I wanted to do. So, and yeah, then obviously lockdown was coming, and I was like, right, I'm going to do something. And like I said, since I've taken it back up, it's just skyrocketed. So, and to be sat here amongst so many great DJs and great producers, it's an absolute honour. So there's going to be a lot of people watching this that are going through or have been through recently the same thing that you've went through. What advice would you give them? Because it is, I've been in the same situation. For me, it first hit me when my dad died. He used to take me to the airport and pick me up. I remember coming back from a gig in Toronto, land at the airport, knowing he wasn't going to be there, and that's when it hit me. So what advice would you give to somebody who's in that situation now, knowing that? Yeah, I would definitely, the best advice I could give is to speak to someone. Don't ever feel like you're going to be a burden on your friends. Your friends are your friends at the end of the day. They're like, you spend more time with your friends than your family, because obviously they're going through it at the same time. So you need a fresh pair of ears and a fresh perspective on things. So if you speak to your friends are never ever going to push you away for being upset, because they're there for you at the end of the day. So definitely speak to friends. Don't suffer in silence. So just reach out to people. There are a lot of people out there who love and care for you. So speak to them.
So your dad's clearly guiding you from above. You've had phenomenal success with everything you've achieved so far. Yeah. More so in this last year than probably the whole of before your dad passing away. Can you believe what's actually happened to you in that time?
No, like I said, I'm so honoured and privileged to be sat here. I just wanted to make music again, just to brighten up my day and brighten up other people's days, just to put smiles on people's faces, because obviously everyone's going through a shit time. And I've been snapped out by Tidy is an absolute honour. And then I think after today, because I've just had a couple more tracks signed, I think it's 7 tracks so far this year that will be coming out.
Mate, if you keep going, you'll have a USB by then next
hopefully
year.
That's the plan for next year. That's hopefully to have an artist album. But one step at a time.
So you are signed now to Tidy Management. I know you've had the involvement with Tidy before. You know, I met you when you were a Tidy board clubber. You were there at the weekenders. You always popped your face in front of everybody, so you were well known. You were liked by people, luckily. This surely must be a dream come true for you. A label that you've worshipped, if that's the right word.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, has taken you on board as an artist now.
Well, yeah, obviously being taken on as an artist, you know, not just for my event management skills, but actually as a proper artist, you know, it's I still can't get my head around it now. Like when I got the phone call, I thought, no, you're joking, aren't you? Dad, seriously, stop taking the piss now. And they were like, no, seriously. And I was like, shit, shut the fucking front door. I think that was my factual words. And then, but yeah, and then like it's just given me more inspiration to carry on and just do more music for myself. And
now, one of the things you have just finished is you've just mixed Resonate 12 with Adam Dixon.
Yes.
Okay, so the two of you, great friends. You both signed to Tidy 2. You're both on the management roster as well. How does it feel to be part of that? Because I remember the first Resonate coming out. The brutal sound of hard trance was the tagline on it.
Yep.
Now we're on the 12th, you know, 2 decades later, we're on the 12th chapter of it.
Yeah,
it must feel good.
Well, let's say like I got a text from Lee saying, just literally saying Resonate 12, and I went, yeah, what about it? And he went, trying to mix it, and I went, fuck off. Literally, I was like, fuck off, and he was like, no, seriously, and I was like, no, seriously, and he was like, no, you're mixing it, and I was like, shit. So obviously, once I done that, I think I phoned my mum straight away, and I told her, and she literally was like so happy for me. I've told a few of my friends, close friends. They've all been really excited for me, and I wanted to do the album proud, so I've done it not in my relentless way that I usually do, so I've gone stripped back to having breakdowns, and I've tried to keep it to the same format, but I've done it in what I interpret as hard trance these days, because, you know, it's not all about the 148, 149 thrap that we used to love. You know, music's evolved over the last like decade, so you know, it's slowed down and it's more energy and clearer sounds.
So were you offered this before or after you were signed to Tidy Management?
I was offered this, I can't remember actually. I think it was definitely after.
After, okay. I was going to say, if it was before, do you think that would have given you an inkling that better things were coming or bigger things were coming? Should I say?
No. I'd say I didn't think I was going to get asked to do the album, if I'm honest. But so it's a good sign.
So where does it all go from here then for Bryn Whiting?
So hopefully, well, obviously back in the studio, making more music, and pushing myself to bigger and better things. Hopefully, so I want to do more for Tidy, because you know they've been very good to me over the last year. But no, it's everything's looking really good.
So finally, if you could pass one valuable piece of knowledge on somebody wanting to follow in your footsteps, what would that be?
Find a couple of things. I would definitely say find yourself a good mentor. I was very lucky to have numerous mentors who have been in the scene for a long time, and patience. Everything doesn't happen overnight. You know, patience is a virtue. Just keep going at it. If you feel that it's not happening for you, just keep going. If you fling in, I just heard the saying a second ago from Zach. If you fling enough shit at the wall, it'll stick. Yeah. So,
Bryn, thank you very much. But I'm not going to let you go just yet. What I'm actually going to do, I'm on a bit of a mission. So I am, you may or may not know, of Hungarian heritage.
Okay.
So I'm teaching people a little Hungarian phrase to help them buy. Now, Lee, believe it or not, Lee, your manager, has got contacts in Hungary. So you may well be playing in Hungary at some point in the future. Okay. You never know. So I'm going to teach you a phrase, okay. That's going to help you. Okay. Now,
this wasn't on the email last night.
Do you know anything about Hungary?
That's what happens when you need to eat some food.
Well, they're really good at football. They're really good at football.
Are they?
Yeah. Okay. We nearly beat Germany.
Okay.
We did really well. Yeah.
Right,
You see, so now you know who Hungary is. Okay, so Hungary's got a massive lake called the Balaton. Okay. Lakes and jet skis go well together.
Cool.
So for you, yours is, where can I get the jet ski serviced? Really important, because if you're hammering that jet ski, you have to get it serviced, Bryn.
Yeah, so, I've got a jet ski.
So in Hungary, in Hungarian, not Hungary, in Hungarian, you need to ask, hol lehet szervizelni a jet skit?
Say again.
Hållhat,
Hållhat,
servicelny,
Self-Cerny,
or jet skeet.
a jet ski.
Brilliant. I think you'll get by with it. I think you'll be all right on the Boloton, although I'm not sure if they actually let jet skis on there because it is a natural beauty. It's the largest natural lake within Europe. Yeah. So, Bryn, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck
Johnny.
with everything.
Thank you so much for having me.
You've deserved it. You've done really well.
Appreciate
You've been
that.
persistent, and
Thank you,
now you are inspiring others. So
I really
keep up the
appreciate
good
that.
work.
As I was to say, as long as I'm inspiring people to keep at it, it's an absolute honour and a privilege to be sat here.
Perfect.
Thank you, Johnny.
Bryn Whiting, thank you very much, everybody. You're watching Tidy TV.